What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a long time since we last talked, and I'll be honest, not much has changed, but it has been a pretty brutal winter here in Missouri, at least by all measures, and I've had little to no motivation to be out here doing anything. So, I took a couple days off work. I am gonna absolutely wrench the nonsense out of this truck, and we got a whole litany of stuff. I've got full MBRP stainless exhaust, 4-inch turbo back. I've got turbo pedestal delete. I've got high flow outlet or whatever the heck it is, all new gaskets. I've got to reprogram my PSOM. I've got most likely, if we have time, long travel rear shackles. I don't have the leafs yet. I've got power steering pump. I've got there's something else. Oh, and a fuel tank. So a whole bunch of stuff is going to happen. I'm honestly going to break it up into a whole bunch of different videos, but what you're going to see here is we're going to start tackling the MBRP exhaust. So stick with me. We're going to see a video kind of every week, just how we used to do, and it's gonna be good. So first thing first in here on the back here by the turbo, we got to pull this band clamp apart. I believe it's actually 10 or 12 millimeter. So we'll pull that apart, and then we're going to run underneath the truck and start diving into pulling mufflers, etc., etc., etc. All right, so it is a 12 mil, and apparently mine was never tight enough after I replaced the transmission on this truck 3 times that I could actually finger loosen it. So that's kind of concerning, but hey, whatever. We ball, right? Isn't that what they say? What all you kids say these days? There we go. Pop that off. There's that. Now we're going to run underneath the truck and start on all the goodies underneath there. So as I mentioned, there's this boogered up exhaust on this Diamond Eye right now. Look at all that weld. That looks terrible. And then it's actually bronze RTV underneath there. So it's, this thing's junk. And it's junk because it's been in a junkyard for a long time. Everything's rusted together. I don't know how I'm going to get it out, truthfully. But I'm going to start pulling band clamps and disconnecting stuff from the factory hangers. There's a hanger right there, and then there's a hanger back by your tailpipe. It's going to be dark back there because of all the sun. And then we'll work up through the front of it. So let me start pulling this apart, and let's see what happens. So I'm going to start right back here and just start knocking these off. I got a new Milwaukee Impact for Christmas this year. And my God, compared to my 12-year-old one, this thing's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Can't believe how freaking nice that is. Okay, there's those. And I'm gonna go back underneath further. Right in here. Actually, I don't even know if this can come apart. Legitimately cannot believe these are all coming off. I love this thing. It's the mid-torque version. But man, is it nice. So I'm just trying to pull this apart as best I can. And I'm going to start pushing it out of the hangers here in a second. Well, I was going to pull it off all in one piece so I could give this old thing away to somebody. But hell with that. This is taking too much work, so I just cut it. All right, so now I have all the different pieces of exhaust pulled. It's all out here except, you know, from the cat up. So now we got to pull off those two nuts on that flange, which are kind of a pain to get to, but we should be able to get to them. And then we'll continue moving up to the engine. All right, cat is out. Hey, believe it or not, it's still intact. I can't believe that. I mean, you can still see through it, so it's not completely plugged. But now we just got the big old Cobra looking downpipe thing. So we're gonna try to get in there without cutting anything on my transmission and see what happens. Let's start cutting it. You have to cut it in half in order to get it out. I mean this with all due respect to our friends at Ford. This shit's dumb, and it really sucks. I mean, that's a lot of metal to cut through with this frickin' Sawzall right next to your trans and all of those lines. I don't like it. So I'm gonna get to the top side now because I have everything else removed. I gotta cut it again from the top is what I think is true, and hope I don't cut something up there, I guess. I'll be back. Well, it's out. That's a pain. I mean, it's what you have to do when you replace an exhaust on, you know, a downpipe on any of these trucks. But my God, that's terrible. But I did get it out. As you can see, all three pieces, cut it up by the elbow, stuffed some stuff in the turbo so nothing got in there. The bottom, the mid piece, it's all done. So now it would be putting it all back together and, you know, starting on the other stuff. So let me move over to that. All right, guys, we're back at it. So working on the exhaust install. I just clearanced for the downpipe with, I don't know, every tool I have. Sawzall, grinder, sledge, everything. Finally did get it clearanced. It's not fun, but I think that's the worst part of the whole job, truthfully. It's everything you read is bad about it. Nothing's fun with clearance in the firewall. I painted the piss out of it to hopefully, you know, keep anything here in the Midwest from having any rust issues. I have read if you bought like or rented like a little mini Porta-Power, if you know what those are, those like not Jaws of Life, but Jaws of Life type things, you could possibly wedge it up in there and spread it. I guess I'm stubborn. I don't know. But let's kind of check out where we're at. All right. So as you see, we've got you know, the turbo all in, everything's ready to go there. I still haven't thrown on my my inlet, but that's fine. High flow outlets there, that's brand new from working on that. And then we're gonna just precariously see, look, slides right in there. And so I'll put the band clamp on there and move on to the bottom. All right, so now that we've got the band clamp on the downpipe, that is just finger tight, so I can still wiggle that downpipe around. I'm gonna work on now the 3-inch clamp for the downpipe, the bottom half of the downpipe too. That's where your cat will go on. So we're gonna work on getting this on. We'll swing underneath. You can see my menagerie of, you know, technical tools that you're supposed to use to get this on and clearance that firewall. Everything here is absolutely required. Yeah, everything. So let's get underneath here and see what we need to do. All right, that's probably the best angle I can get you, truthfully, and I don't know if it's a great one, to be honest. But we're gonna come up here with this. I want to spin that around so the bolt's on the bottom. So I'm thinking it's gonna go on something like that. And so we'll, I'm gonna get this tightened up and move on to the next piece. All right, now it's time to put your factory cat back on. So we're gonna throw that back on right now. If you can see, it's kind of dim up there, but there's the end of the down pipe. My cat's sitting right here off camera, and we're gonna get that up there with MBRP supplied 3/8 hardware. So we're gonna start running that on. And you already have your factory hanger up there. Whoopsies. So you've got your OEM hanger up here, so you're just gonna slide it right on, just as it came off, and try not to smash your nice camera. All right, so now it's on. Again, this isn't the way it's going to have to be at the end, but it's on enough for, you know, just snug it up to then run back to the rest. All right, well, I did a few things without you, and it wasn't purposeful, but I lost audio. So that's what happens when you don't check your mic battery. So where I'm at now is I've got cat on the 3.5 to 4 inch pipe behind the cat on, and then the 2 extension pipes. And the 2 extension pipes have to be cut. For mine, both down to like 25.5 inches. So that's how you have to do that. Everything's in the directions on exactly what you have to cut them down to. I did cut them down to the right length, which is good. I just had a panic attack that I was supposed to be 27.5. It is 25.5. Working on getting it kind of fitted up now. Next goes on is the muffler. So I'm going to work on getting the muffler on. We can slide under there and kind of see what's going on right now first. So here's where we are. I've got both extensions on, the cat. There's the hanger with the factory hanger. I think I'm missing a hanger, to be honest with you. I think there's supposed to be a hanger right up there as well. It seems pretty secure, so I'm not too concerned, but maybe I'll junkyard one and throw it on there. We'll see. So that's where we are right now. It is a little close to the trans right now, so I'm gonna, once I get everything else buttoned up, I'm gonna try to get it moved over some. But that's it. Next goes on is the muffler right there. All right, guys. Well, you're probably wondering, like, Joe, you're in your third different change of clothes since you started this project, and third location. What's wrong with you? And you're right. I'm a mess. I've lost audio a couple times, so I'm reshooting this. But hey, here we are. We're gonna make this happen. And you know, if every single one of you made it this far, subscribes, maybe I can, you know, retire, right? Would that work? It's not gonna work, just kidding. But would be pretty cool. So let's see where we're at. I've got the everything buttoned up now, have about 100 miles on the kit. And so let's dive into where it's sitting, what it looks like, and kind of what's going on. So we've got cat to extension pipe running back, which is cut down to length to your muffler, and then muffler over the rear axle and out the back. Everything's clearanced pretty well. It's a little tight to the trans, but not too bad overall at the top. Tip looks obviously really good on there. Really love how that's turning out and looking. Really, really happy with that. And fitment is so nice on this. So let's take a look, and I'll set you up here while I start up the truck. You can have a little bit of a, I guess, a sound check and all that. So. So overall, really, really happy with this. The way that this went together, downpipe's a little tough, but everything else goes together super easy. And sound looks real nice. Being all stainless is gonna be perfect for out here in Missouri, driving in the salt every day, or all winter long, because this is a daily. I really appreciate you all watching, being patient with me here. Like, subscription, comments, I love it all. So I'll see you guys next week.